This is the full review video of OnePlus 8T. We have OnePlus 8, then we have 8 Pro. Both does amazing job at this price point. So what does 8T offers over 8? Short answer, 120Hz display and 65 watt charging. Long answer, watch till the end of the video where each and every aspect is covered with pros and cons. I have used this phone for past 3 weeks, kept my primary SIM card and used extensively. Again, not a biased video, not a sponsored video. So without wasting time, let's get started. Myself Sumi, behind the camera we have Karthik. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notification. Welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Tech. As usual, let's divide this video into 5 parts. The first one is design and build quality. Second one is the display. Third one we have the performance and software. Then we have battery, and at the last we have camera. Let's get started with design. First look, we can see the familiarity with Samsung flagships. The camera setup is moved to left top corner. Next, immediately we can notice the screen is flat, not curved like 8 or 8 Pro. This is a major plus for OnePlus 8T. Yes, the curved screen makes it look classy and premium. And yes, the width can be reduced with the same display size. But curved screens make it so annoying with ghost touches while swiping and even typing. Small amount of width can be sacrificed for more user-friendly flat screen. The build quality is awesome as usual. On bottom, we get dual SIM tray with no expandable storage, a USB-C port and one channel of stereo loudspeaker setup. We also have the all-time fan favorite alert slider on the right with power button below. Top has nothing but a secondary mic, left side has volume buttons. The haptic feedback is very good but is a little bit less strong than other flagship phones. We get a Gorilla Glass 5 on front and back. The back is silver for our unit and has a matte finish and it gets less fingerprints. That's a good job done by OnePlus. The phone has a stereo setup for loudspeaker and they sound loud and good. The clarity is good but not the best. Check this sample. Also, as usual, the underscreen fingerprint scanner is present and as always, it's blazing fast. The call quality is good and the other side caller can hear me clearly even when the network is low. Wi-Fi reception is also good with no issues found. The voice over Wi-Fi is also good. We are still missing the IP rating. It is exclusive to 8 Pro. But it is not acceptable as S20 FE, direct competitor, is having IP68 rating. So overall, standard design with solid build quality makes the usage of this phone a pleasant experience. Now let's see the display. So one of the major upgrade from OnePlus 8 to 8T is the display. Now 8T comes with 120Hz display same as 8 Pro, but with 1080p same as the 8. Personally, I prefer high refresh rate over high resolution, and the display quality of OnePlus 8T is in one word, it's awesome. The colors are accurate, the viewing angles are great, the outdoor brightness is great, and the refresh rate is also great. I didn't find any issues even at the lowest brightness. Overall, the display, it's flagship level. Now let's look into the performance and software. With Snapdragon 865, you won't get any problems with performance. You can play most of the games at high quality settings. The 120Hz display and Oxygen OS makes everything work battery smooth. The phone did get warm while playing high intensity games, but it cooled down so quickly. The RAM management is great with minimum of 8GB RAM variant is available. We have the 12GB RAM variant and tons of apps run in the background with no issues. Coming to the software, OnePlus 8T comes with Android 11 with Oxygen OS 11 on top of it. This is by far the most controversial Oxygen OS updates ever by OnePlus. Reason it's not anymore stock Android and is more closer to Samsung One UI. Don't get me wrong, this is not a bad thing at all. The UI is as usually snappy with all the menus moved down with upper half displaying only the title, making it easy to use with one hand. I personally felt this implementation as more good as I very rarely reached my second hand to operate something. Next is the addition of always on display. This is a long overdue and with Oxygen OS 11, OnePlus finally brings this feature. We get plenty of options for always on display, but an option called Insight will show you how often you unlock the phone during the day. The other one is Canvas, which creates simple outline of the photo in your gallery and shows it as always on display. Overall, I think Oxygen OS 11 is a good update for an excellent OS. But it is no more a stock Android look for which Oxygen OS is famous for. One thing I noticed is in the first OTA update, OnePlus adds Amazon app. Amazon app is good, but OnePlus forcing users to add an app through OTA update is not good. This is equivalent to MI showing ads without user consent. So if OnePlus stops this practice, it will be good. Let's talk about battery and charging. Next upgrade out of the 2/8 is the 65 watt. It's insanely fast. Within 40 minutes, the charger will go from 0 to 100%. Also, the battery capacity is slightly increased at 4500 mAh in 80 from 4300 mAh in OnePlus 8. The battery life is good with full brightness always on display. I got around 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time, which is good considering the 120Hz refresh rate. Also, we have compared the battery drain test of OnePlus 8 versus S20 FE. The link of the video is here. While charging at 65 watt, the phone did get a little warm but not hot. This is partially due to the dual battery setup where each battery is charged at around 30 watt, making the process run little cooler. There is also an option called optimized charging which will charge to 90% overnight and last 10% charges slowly before waking up, saving the battery health. I suggest you to keep this option on as due to fast charging of 65 watt, the battery health will drain considerably in 1.5 to 2 years. The phone also supports quick charging and PD at max 27 watt, which is good. But one thing which is cut down from 8 Pro is the wireless charging. This is not a big deal for me, but it is for some. Now let's look into the camera. Again, camera is a problem for OnePlus always, and OnePlus 8T is no different. The camera setup consists of 4 cameras, out of which only 2 are really usable. The main camera is 48 megapixel IMX486 sensor, the same sensor used for the past 2 years. If we check the image quality of main camera, the images are not so bad. In fact, the color reproduction and overall quality is improved a lot over the other OnePlus phones. But not so bad photos are not acceptable for a 40k plus phones. The competitors are closing in and the proof is that the recent S20 FE. It has less 12 megapixel camera but still the image quality is way ahead of OnePlus 8T. We had done a full camera comparison of OnePlus 8T with S20 FE and S20 Plus. Link is here. The images comes out good but viewing closer reveals the noise and the less details even in daylight. The nighttime photos from main camera always uses long exposure as nightscape, but that's not good. The images are quite bright but not that detailed. Turning on nightscape, the images comes more bright and with more detail. Overall, the main camera results are satisfactory but not flagship worth. The second usable camera is the 16 megapixel ultra-wide camera. In daylight, the images from this camera are crisp and clear with good dynamic range. The color reproduction is quite good. The low light samples of ultra-wide are not usable at all even with the nightscape enabled, but this is the issue with all smartphones now. Now we get to the bad, the 5 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel monochrome sensor. I don't know why OnePlus keeps on including these two sensors which are not usable at all. Instead of this, a setup like OnePlus 70 with telephoto lens and use wide angle cameras as macro makes more sense. Anyways, the macro shots are good, but with 5 megapixel sensor, we get very less detail. The portraits can be shot using 2x zoom crop and 1x crop. The photos comes out with good separation, but color reproduction is not so good. We have a 16 megapixel selfie camera situated in the punch hole left top corner. The selfies comes out quite good. The skin tones are spot on and the details is also quite good. The selfie portraits are not so good with exposure going for a toss in this sample. The OnePlus 8T can record video in 1080p and 4K on both main and ultra-wide cameras. The main camera can do 60 fps whereas ultra-wide can go up to 30 fps. The 1080p 60 fps videos comes crisp and clear with good dynamic range and good contrast. The stability of the main camera is good with no shakes while recording while walking. The nighttime videos comes pretty okay and within not much detail. Overall, the image quality of OnePlus 8T is same as the other OnePlus phone, leaving us desiring more and more. Let's break up this review into pros and cons. OnePlus 8T have very good build quality, great 120Hz display, flat screen, good loudspeaker, blazing fast fingerprint scanner, flagship performance with Snapdragon 865, fastest charging speed and reasonable battery. But on the con side, we have bad camera, no IP rating, no wireless charging, no 3.5mm jack, but that's the con forever. Oxygen OS 11, personally I liked it, but forcing apps to install, and at the last 65-watt charging. Yes, 65-watt charging is awesome, but I am more concerned about battery health. As it is a 40K phone, we'll tend to keep it for more than 2 years. But for everything there is OnePlus 8 as identical as 80. The only deal breaker is the flat screen. People who are planning to buy OnePlus 4 go with 80 for flat screen and OnePlus 8 for curved screens. This is the full review video of OnePlus 80. Stay tuned until our next video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notification. Thanks for watching.